Hey guys, hope you're all well. Today we are going to be having a special video. Today's video is going to be about my university students and the questions they've asked me. Now, a lot of students ask me a lot of questions on a daily basis, but I feel like these questions are very special as they are from my own students, firstly, and secondly, because these are questions that should be answered on a public space rather than privately. Because I think a lot of students have these questions, and yeah, so let's get on with answering them. Question number 1. Should you choose a specialized degree or is computer science fine? For example, business and computing, computer science and mathematics, games, cybersecurity, computing and networking. So let's think about this one. If I'm honest with you, I believe that if you guys are brand new to computer science, then I believe that computer science is the way to go because you get a taste of everything then. It's like when you go to a new place to try food, you want to try everything right before you make your decision on what you want to do. If someone just tells you, go to software engineering or go to cybersecurity, you may not like it. So it's better to go through everything there is. In computer science, you come across databases, you come across cybersecurity, you come across computer security, you come across software engineering. You may like some, you may not like some, but you won't know unless you try. And once you've tried all of it, then you can decide what you actually like. So from my experience, which works for me and works for a lot of other people that I speak to, I think it's more important to go down the general route if you've not come from a CS background. However, if you are already hell-bent on software engineering and you've been software engineering ever since you're 5 years old and that that's what you want to do, then obviously software engineering is a route to go down. Or if you know you want cybersecurity and nothing else, and cybersecurity is a route down. I did computer science. I did not like cybersecurity so much, but I have to do it now. Because obviously, when you are doing a risk assessment, you need to know about cybersecurity. I primarily used to do software engineering, and I do software engineering a lot. And so cybersecurity and software engineering work together. And then networking also comes involved. So when generally people ask you about IT, you need to know a lot about everything. All the stuff that are related to computer science. So I believe it's more important to have a general overview of everything and then go specific into one than just only know one thing and not know everything else. I mean, information is king, right? Knowledge is power, right? So it's good to know a lot. So that's my answer for question 1. I hope that answered your question. Question number 2. Should you get a job during uni? If yes, how do you get a degree-related job? Come through to coding chamber, that's how you get it. No, I'm joking. Okay. So you need to create your own value. I know that's probably a cliche term that you hear from these $1 million enthusiasts, but you need to create your own skill set. Now, what does that mean? I have students, some are very good at communicating, but they basically say the wrong thing sometimes. That's just because they're not experienced communicators. Some might have self-limiting abilities. It's just because they've never been put into a situation where they have to rely on their confidence. Some may always have the voices playing in their head, doubting them. If they were to practice a lot more, they wouldn't have that. So my advice is experience as much as you can. I had a conversation with a student once, and he said to me that, Sharon, I want to go down a particular route. I asked him, why do you want to go down that particular route? He goes, I scored a good one assignment once in relation to the particular route. And I said to him, that's not a fair assessment of something that you want to do. My advice would be practice, code, check out how networks work, check out how computer security works, check out how all this stuff works. Try it, go through it. Spend a month deep diving into each thing. Spend a month researching everything about it, Googling it, watching people's videos who go to it. If you like it, then you like it. If not, then you don't. But back to the question. Sorry, I go off on tangents sometimes. Back to the question. How do you get a degree-related job? You have to make yourself worthy and valuable by doing doing a little bit of what your professors tell you at university, but going down the rabbit hole yourself, researching things, creating your own value. If you want to start off with web development, I recommend doing my course, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for beginners. To the point, just a little advertisement. So at the beginning of my course, if you're a beginner, by the end you'll be ready for an entry-level developer role. And of those of you students who want to join, the course will then get you to a point where you can work for people that I'm connected with for the sake of experience. So there's a little advertisement there, but if that's what you want to do, then we're ready to serve you and we're ready to sort you out. But there's another part of the question. The other part of the question was, should you get a job during uni? Okay, I recommend only get jobs during uni that are close or related to your field, because otherwise it'll be very difficult. Pick up jobs that have transferable skills. So for example, if you can't get a job in IT, get a customer service role. At least then you will know how to deal with clients. And that's very, very important in the service industry. Or working and putting yourself under pressure. Just remember one thing. People tend to say all the time that you shouldn't get a job that's not related to your work. I agree with that, but what does related actually mean? It could be something different to everybody. For example, for me, working in a factory when I was 18, I was able to build up the patience to stick out at a real job. Do you understand? That's how I do a good relationship. Let's say I have some weaknesses that if I go to these jobs, I know that I'll be able to figure out through experience how to get out of that weakness. Or for example, let's say I'm someone on customer service, I might work as a salesman for some time, just to build up that acumen. Relationships will be different. Different. It doesn't mean that you have to actually work as a software engineer before you go to software engineering. You can work at something that you can build up a transferable skill that can link directly or indirectly towards the job that you want to go into. So I hope that answers your question. Another question I received: should effort be made to go to a prestigious university, or is a local one fine? I will answer this question, but I won't answer it directly because obviously everyone has their own experiences. So, a prestigious university is good for some specialties, some fields, some disciplines. For computer science, I would not recommend to everybody to go to a very, very good university. I'll tell you why. Because there's some students who need that environment, who know how to research, who know what they want to do, who want research scientists. But the broad majority of students just want a degree and just want to find someone to help them. Now, I went to the University of Bedfordshire, which is my local university. Why I made that decision? Because I knew if I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, I can make it to a 9 a.m. lecture. If I went to any other uni, I'd have to wake up 7 a.m. in the morning to get to a 9 a.m. lecture. I mean, once I woke up, I had a 9 a.m. lecture, I woke up at 8:30, got ready, jumped straight on the bus, and I made it to my lecture in time because that was easy for me. And because I stayed in Luton, I was able to work at the same time, I was able to help my family at the same time, and I was able to do things being available at home. So I was able to take on uni, and I was able to fulfill my responsibilities as well. You don't have to go to some massive uni because don't chase things for the name. Chase them if you feel they'll benefit you properly. For example, if there is a student and he feels like he can't work at home, if he feels like he has a destructive lifestyle at home, if he feels like it's a good use of time and he has a higher reward to risk ratio living out, then obviously you could live out and go to a better university. I graduated from the University of Bedfordshire, and after that now I'm studying my master's at Queen Mary's University of London. Just because I did everything I can at University of Bedfordshire, and I felt like I'd have a better challenge at a better university where I would actually be challenged and I would actually learn something a lot. In the beginning, I probably wouldn't have wanted to Queen Mary's or another university like that had I built the study skills that I needed to before. Now that I've built them, I want to exceed expectations and go for as far as I can. So I hope that answers your question. Next question. Should you go university if you don't know what to do, or if your parents say so? Disclaimer, guys, your parents naturally only want the best for you. If a parent who was never ever given the opportunity for education sees educated people around them, sees what they are accomplishing, and sees what you can accomplish through that, then they would advise you to go through the education route because that's all they know. That's the best thing they know. It's like you go to a software engineer in his first year, and the best he can advise you is not going to be the best that a 30-year veteran in the field of computer science can teach you. You have to understand what level your parents are at. Don't disrespect them, but understand what level they're at. If they're saying get a degree, they must see some sort of benefit at that. There's nothing wrong with doing what your parents say, getting the degree, and then go and do what you want to do after that as well. But keep your parents in mind and keep your house in mind when you're doing whatever you're doing, because you don't want to disappoint your house while you're doing something great. Secondly, should you go to university if you don't know what to do? I recommend, when you don't know what to do. Not knowing what to do comes from not having experience. And when you have experience, you can ask people. For example, when I was going to uni, I wanted to study law. Obviously, you guys can see it and turn out like that. But I was asking a lot of people a lot of questions, and people that were related to my sort of like mentality, I asked, okay, I want to know what do you guys think? And I had some people for it, some people against it. In the end, what finished the matter for me was when I asked somebody, am I going to be constantly fighting with my morals? And they said yes. Now I realize that life isn't so straightforward. But back then, I was 18 years old. I wasn't exactly the best decision maker in the world, and I made that decision. I don't regret it, but that was my life. Now, I've taken those skills that I thought I could have applied to law, and I've applied them to computer science. I'm teaching computer science students. I help them. I've done tuition. I've done everything I can by making use of the same skills. So do I advise, should you go to university if you don't know what to do? I advise it because no one else is going to teach you what university can teach you at this moment in time, unless you're from some completely educated family. From a completely educated family, I'd recommend go to university because just sitting with educated people can change your life a lot. I know, I've experienced that. I've experienced sitting with educated people and how it can change your life. Next question. How do I maintain a healthy work-life balance? Guys, remember, work smart, not hard. Working smart, what does that mean? Figure out how you can complete the task in the shortest time possible with the best quality possible. Once you do that, tasks will become so much easier. Do not stress. Stress comes from misappropriating your priorities. Do not do that. Do not make that mistake. A lot of people make that mistake. It's not right. Stress is not something to be happy about. There's nothing good with having stress. I know it's a normal thing amongst students nowadays to have stress. No good. It's not good. It's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your family life. It's not good for your social life. Why are you going to be stressed for? Ask someone to help you figure it out. I have students ringing me all the time. Sharon, I'm stressed about X, Y, Z. When I give them a solution, they're like, oh, we feel better now. Because you don't want something to make your blood pressure go higher, make you feel stressed. Because what happens is, if you develop a normality of being stressed, you will be stressed about things your entire life. So what is the point going into education? What is the point of becoming educated? What is the point? If you're just going to stress yourself out all the time. What you do is you think, okay, if you're stressed, take some time out, go out with your friends, go play football, go play cricket, go whatever. And then come back, put pen to paper and think, okay, how can I solve this problem? How can I fix this? Can I solve this myself? Can I Google it and fix it? Can I ask ChatGPT and solve it? Do I need to ask someone to solve it? How do I do it? And do those things. You cannot do anything unless you take a foot forward and make things happen for yourself. Nothing's going to happen for you. Nobody's going to come to you and give you the solution. You need to put yourself in that position where I know I can call people and make relationships with people. That's what people are for. Interdependence is the way forward, guys. Final question. I was asked the other day a question by a student, and I think it's relevant to all my students. So the question I was asked is as follows: how do internships work? And should I take one up? And how does it help me? Guys, a statistic I read, but don't quote me on this, but there's a 82% higher chance for people that have experience to get jobs than those that don't have experience. Now guys, at Coding Chamber, what we're offering is, firstly, as a disclaimer, we don't convince anybody, we don't persuade anybody, we're not going to try forcing a sale on your throat. We're just going to advise you what we have, make you aware, and it's up to you to decide after that. So what we currently have going on is we currently have a front-end developer course. As soon as you complete the front-end developer course, we will link you up as one of our partners based upon your ability, your time, convenience, everything for work experience. Now, work experience goes a long way. It changes people's lives. It makes people more confident and makes people know what happens. The reason why work experience is so important is, so I take a page out of the book of A Rich Kid, A Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you work to build your skills and value in the long term, you'll be paid a lot more than you thought. Whereas if you work always selling your time, you'll always just be selling your time. If you work for free at the beginning and you pick up your skills, build your value, you'll find out how your time can be spent more appropriately rather than having your time, working for your time. So you won't be on hourly pay. You'll work out a way where you'll be selling a transformation, selling value, selling something. Dad, look, how does he make $10,000 an hour? Because he sells his time. That 1 hour he sells to a company is worth billions. So they will lose $1 million if they don't pay him that $10,000 for the hour. Because he helps them not make $1 million mistakes. And how did he make that? By failing 16 businesses. I think he says it in one of his videos, that I failed 15 or 16 businesses. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the questions, but I hope the questions helped you, and love all of you guys. I will see you guys next week, and if you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much for your time. Goodbye.